Welcome into college football now. I am your host, Harrison Graham. It is the best time of the year because we have championship weekend this weekend, and then we get to find out what all of the bowl game matchups end up being. So that's what we're doing today. We are projecting all of the bowl games, I believe 41 in total. So that is what we are going to do on today's show. We'll start with the big ones and then kind of trickle down to the lesser ones. Obviously, the college football playoff semifinal games. We'll start Georgia, Oklahoma State could be a big matchup in the semifinals in the college football playoff. We are projecting these to be very, very clear. I'm projecting Georgia to beat Alabama, be the number 1 seed. That would knock Bama out. And then Oklahoma State beats Baylor to get the number 4 seed to get that matchup in Miami. Remember, the number 1 seed gets to choose where they want to play, so Georgia could easily choose Arlington. That is where the other semifinal will end up being, at the Cotton Bowl between the Michigan Wolverines and the Cincinnati Bearcats. I think if Cincinnati wins, they will make the Final Four. They sit at number 4 in the final second to last college football playoff rankings before we find out the final ones on Sunday. So those are the 2 semifinal games. We'll see how things shake out. Should be a lot of fun to see what happens this weekend and then what the committee ends up doing. Let's take a look at some other New Year's Six bowls. The Sugar Bowl, which will be played on New Year's Day, 8:45 Eastern. Baylor, Oklahoma. I think Baylor will get the nod even if they lose in the Big 12 title game to get this spot. Alabama will likely get this spot if they lose in the college football playoff. Obviously, if they win, or in the SEC title game, I should say. Obviously, if they win, they'll be in the college football playoff. New Year's Day game at night. Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. Ohio State versus Utah. It's the winner of Utah-Oregon will be in the Rose Bowl. Neither's going to make the playoff. I just think Utah is going to win that game. So I will project Utah playing in the Rose Bowl against the Buckeyes, who had their playoff chances darted against Michigan last week. 5 o'clock Eastern time on New Year's Day. The Fiesta Bowl between Notre Dame and Michigan State. This is also a New Year's Day game at 1 o'clock Eastern. Notre Dame, who's still hopeful for a playoff spot. Michigan State, which had a nice year, led by Mel Tucker, running back Kenneth Walker. This game is always, of course, played in Glendale, Arizona. The Peach Bowl, as we continue with our college football bowl game projections here. Pitt, Ole Miss. Pitt, if they win the ACC championship game, they get into a New Year's Six. Ole Miss, I firmly expect them to be in the New Year's Six 10-win season led by Lane Kiffin. This game played on December 30th, 7 o'clock Eastern in Atlanta, Georgia. So let's hear it. What is your favorite New Year's Six bowl game every year? It's got to be the Rose Bowl, right? Like, it's got the most tradition. It's got the most history. I love the Rose Bowl. I know things are changing with the college football playoff, and bowl games maybe don't mean quite as much as they used to, but I'm still going to sit down and watch the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day because I'm not a fraud. So I'm picking the Rose Bowl. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. All right, let's keep it going. The Texas Bowl, and from here on out, we'll go in reverse chronological order in terms of date. So January 4th, this game being played between the playoff games and the national championship game. Iowa State, Mississippi State in that one. The Citrus Bowl, Iowa, Kentucky, and the Camping World Stadium down in Orlando. This is a New Year's Day game as well, 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Both these programs having a great year, and obviously Iowa has a chance to beat Michigan in the Big Ten title game. The Outback Bowl between Minnesota and Arkansas. Minnesota had an 8-win season. They will play on New Year's Day if they go to the Outback Bowl. Again, these are just projections. Arkansas out of the SEC, a pair of 8-4 teams. The Arizona Bowl, Utah State and Toledo, throw out the record books when these two teams meet up. This is the one game that Barstool Sports will be broadcasting out there in Tucson, Arizona, so that'll be entertaining as well. Little New Year's Eve action as we project Utah State and Toledo. The Gator Bowl, our projection, this would be a juicy one. I'd be excited for this. Clemson, Texas A&M, both probably didn't have quite the seasons they were hoping for, especially Clemson, as they're used to be in the college football playoff, but they won their final 6 games. A&M going 8-4 this year, but both these teams always have high aspirations. I want to know, though, who will be the better team next year? Because when you have Dabo Swinney, when you have Jimbo Fisher, you're expecting big things. Will Clemson be better next year? Will Texas A&M be better in 2022? Get your votes in. Type C for Clemson, type T for Texas A&M. Keep it moving here. The Sun Bowl, Miami, Washington State. Always. The Music City Bowl, Purdue, Tennessee. The Volunteers, kind of one of the surprise teams in college football in Josh Heupel's first year. Hendon Hooker playing good quarterback there. That game in Nashville on December 30th as we continue with our college football bowl projections. Again, none of these bowls are official as of yet. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, one of the elite sponsors of bowl season. North Carolina State, South Carolina, NC State having a nice year. South Carolina back in the bowl game hunt after a 6-win season, led by head coach Frank Beamer. This one played in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Las Vegas Bowl, Wisconsin, Arizona State. Imagine ASU students traveling to Vegas for a bowl game. What could go wrong? This could be an interesting one. We'll see what happens there. This one played where the Raiders play at Allegiant Stadium. The Alamo Bowl, one of my favorite bowls every year. It's always fun between the Big 12 and Pac-12, and this would be a juicy game as well. Oklahoma and Oregon. Remember, if Oregon beats Utah, they'll be in the Rose Bowl, but if they lose, they would likely shift down to the Alamo Bowl, which is, of course, played in San Antonio, Texas on December 29th. Subscribe to the channel because our college football coverage is on fire. You guys have been loving our coaching hot boards. We also cover recruiting as well. We're going to kind of ramp up our recruiting coverage here over the next couple of weeks with early signing day on December 15th. Subscribe. Don't miss any of our college football coverage here on Chat Sports. Okay, the Cheez-It Bowl, Kansas State against Wake Forest down in Orlando as well. And hey, the Cheez-It Bowl, you never know what's going to happen in that game. The Pinstripe Bowl, Penn State against Louisville at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. It's always cool to see a bowl game in that stadium. Penn State, a disappointing finish to their season over the past 6 weeks or so. Louisville in there as well as we project that one. The Fenway Bowl on December 29th, Boston College in Houston is our projection for this one. This, of course, will be played at Fenway Park up there in Boston, Massachusetts. All right, the Holiday Bowl, Virginia Tech, Oregon State. The last couple of years improving their program. Virginia Tech will have a new head coach next year, but they were still bowl eligible. This game played in San Diego on December 28th. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl. What a name. Maryland versus Texas Tech. Suttakumbe going to coach one more game for the Red Raiders despite moving on to taking the Louisiana Tech job. Maryland sitting there at 6-6, both these programs there. This game played at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, we have a deal for you guys, a holiday special. College football hoodies for 50% off, not just the ones we're showing you. We have hoodies for basically every major college football program and some of the smaller ones as well. Go to the link below, chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. We've got hoodies, just sweatshirts, those quarter zips. We got it all, chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. Check the comments, check the description. The link is right there. Click and shop today as I've got an itch in my left eye. All right, let's keep it moving here. The Liberty Bowl, West Virginia, Missouri, as the Tigers out of the SEC and the Mountaineers out of the Big 12 out in Memphis on December 28th. The First Responder Bowl, this is a kind of a juicy one. SMU versus LSU in Dallas. SMU could play at home. We're in Dallas. I might go watch that game if this happens. Hey, SMU needs some love after losing their entire coaching staff. So December 28th, 3:15 Eastern Time. The Birmingham Bowl, Auburn, Memphis at Protective Life Stadium in Birmingham as the Tigers still reeling from that heartbreaking loss to Alabama. Memphis sitting in there as well. The Military Bowl between Virginia and East Carolina, December 27th, in Annapolis, Maryland. It feels weird to not have a service academy in this game, but East Carolina has already accepted this bowl bid, so we'll see who their opponent ends up being when the actual bowl games come out. The Quick Lane Bowl, Central Michigan versus Marshall, and I do want to make this note. As we get to these smaller bowls, ESPN has TV rights to basically all of the bowl games outside of like 3 or 4. ESPN is basically kingmaker. They can kind of pick and choose where some of these teams go, so keep that in mind. We're just projecting the best we can. Central Michigan versus Auburn, or versus Marshall. Yeah, we'll get to the next game here. The Camellia Bowl on Christmas Day. throw out the record books when Louisiana faces Northern Illinois out in Montgomery, Alabama for this one. I can't wait for this one if it ends up being the case. The Hawaii Bowl. I love the Hawaii Bowl because you're enjoying family time. It's Christmas Eve, and then there's a game on. UCF Air Force for the Hawaii Bowl would be kind of lit. Hopefully it's a game of this caliber in Honolulu. The Gasparilla Bowl, the Bad Boys Gasparilla Bowl, I will add. North Carolina, Florida, teams that definitely disappointed this year. Both were in the top 15 in the preseason, and neither had the season they wanted to. Florida fired their coach, and Mac Brown underachieved. It's never happened before. So that game in Tampa, I think for the Gasparilla Bowl, they'd be pretty thrilled if they got North Carolina and Florida. By the way, what is the worst bowl name, okay? And answer in the comments. You can answer on my IG, at HGrabNFL. Give me a follow over there. Worst bowl game. Is it the Bad Boys Mower Gasparilla Bowl? Is it the Duke's Mayo Bowl? There's some bad ones out there. I want to know. What is the Guaranteed Rate Bowl? That's a joke. I mean, that's like, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. So what's the worst bowl name out there? Just get your votes in. The Armed Forces Bowl, at least we have a service academy in this one. North Texas versus Army. You can't bet against the troops. Sorry, producer Marsh and producer Jeremy. I'm rolling with Army, baby. That one out in Fort Worth, Texas at Amon G. Carter Stadium. Frisco Bowl, Tulsa, Wyoming. No Josh Allen. I'd take the Golden Hurricane in this one if this is what the matchup ends up being. This is on December 21st. The Potato Bowl. This is up there with the worst bowl names out there. Boise State versus Western Michigan. It is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, by the way. I mean, Albertson Stadium, yeah, that's not going to do it for me. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, Coastal Carolina against Liberty. We're projecting in this one as my executive producer is sending me a note. By the way, Ball State, we're not projecting them into a bowl game because one 6-win team will not make it. That's the team we chose, so sorry to our loyal Ball State following here at Chat Sports. The Myrtle Beach Bowl between Coastal and Liberty, that'd be kind of a lit game for two smaller programs. The New Orleans Bowl, Bourbon Street, let's ride. Western Kentucky against App State at Mercedes-Benz. Western Kentucky, by the way, Bailey Zapp, their quarterback, getting some NFL draft buzz, so he's a name to watch out for this bowl season. Oh, yes, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. Can't wait for this one. UCLA and San Diego State. Yes, UCLA's logo is right there. It just blends in with our background there. Don't even worry about it. SoFi Stadium, where the Rams and Chargers play. I think we have a question related to this one, Marsha, that I wanted to ask the audience. So we're going to do that. So Jimmy Kimmel, I guess, he bought a bowl essentially, or he sponsored a bowl. What would you name your bowl game? You got the sponsor rights. You can name it whatever you want. You're just going to name it after yourself? Like, I would do something cooler than the Harrison Graham Bowl. Like, hey, come on, let's get more creative on that front. Let me know, what would you name your bowl game if you had one? Keep it moving here. Independence Bowl, BYU versus UTSA. Yeah, UTSA, it was fun while it lasted. You lost to the Mean Green, and the Roadrunners are in shambles. All right, the Lending Tree Bowl. Oh, yes. Eastern Michigan versus Old Dominion at Ladd-Peebles Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. Man, that's going to be a lit game if that happens. New Mexico Bowl, UTEP, Fresno State in Albuquerque. Eisenberg, UTEP, Fresno State, December 18th in the New Mexico Bowl as we project it. Middle Tennessee and Georgia State is our projection for the Boca Raton Bowl. That'd be a sick bowl game to go to for those small kids. We're going to keep it moving here. Miami of Ohio versus Nevada in the Cure Bowl on December 17th. And then the Bahamas Bowl. Man, I would love to go to the Bahamas and play a football game. UAB versus Kent State. Leading things off on December 17th. Again, these are just our projections. We'll see what ESPN decides for the small games because they've got all the power. Shout out your favorite team. Rep your squad. We're signing off. Sorry if I was too sarcastic on some of the smaller bowl games. I watch them all, baby. It's a lot of fun. Shout out your squad. Represent. We'll see you on our next video here at Chat Sports.